Hey everybody, it's me. I'm 35 weeks today. I did not plan to do this vlog in the car, but I'm actually having to take Alice to the doctor. She was up basically all night. It was just a really rough night on us. And she's been saying that her ear has been hurting for several days, so just getting it checked out. 35 weeks, honestly, every time this week that somebody has asked me how I'm feeling, my gut reaction is just to say, I feel great. And probably 90% of the time or so, that's totally true. The other 10% I think, well, okay, not great, but you know. But generally, I'm doing really good. I saw my hospital midwife this week and I did the GBS test. I haven't gotten the result yet. I should get it tomorrow. She said to send her a text and hopefully I'll be able to find out and go from there. I really feel at peace with it. I feel like I did everything I possibly could naturally to, you know, hopefully get rid of any GBS that I had in my system before. And even if I didn't, I really feel healthy overall. I feel like my system, I feel so much healthier now than I did at this point in Alice's pregnancy, just overall. So, yeah, I feel good about it either way, and, you know, we'll see. I gained 1 more pound in the past couple of weeks, so I'm at 30 total. That was my arbitrary goal for this pregnancy. And at I think around 37 weeks with Alice, my weight did plateau. I stopped gaining. So things have been happening about 2 weeks earlier throughout this pregnancy. So I'm wondering if maybe my weight is starting to kind of, you know, taper off. Any gain is starting to taper off and I'm starting to plateau again, because I feel like that would be good. I feel like I'm really just about like the perfect size, or I'm not too heavy yet. Today is actually our 4th wedding anniversary for me and Mike. We both kind of forgot about it till earlier in the week. We give each other usually the traditional gift, which this year is like the perfect thing for slackers. It is either fruit or flowers. So officially this weekend we are going to go apple picking, and that'll be sort of our family activity. And we'll get a lot of apples and I'll be able to bake something. I did make pumpkin cookies today. And Mike went and got me blueberry donuts as a surprise this morning. But so anyways, 4 years, pretty happy. My biggest complaint this week has been sort of like brain fog. Like I just can't get my thoughts organized. I've been noticing this at work. I've been noticing it in other videos I've recorded this week, and I end up having to edit so much because I'm all over the place and I forget a bunch of things that I meant to say, and things just don't come out right, and it's just frustrating to me. I know it's like hormonal, and it's just that, you know, so much of my blood flow and nutrition and stuff is going to the baby at this point. Hopefully it won't totally stay this way forever. But you know, it's just been tough to not really feel like myself and not really feel like I'm like functioning at my, you know, full, see, here we go, at my full ability or whatever. Gosh. Still definitely having the pubic symphysis and the pelvic bone pain that I was having last week. I did read a tip that it would help to sit while you're getting dressed, and I really didn't think that that was going to help much, but it totally does. So that's my tip to all of you. If you're feeling the same kind of thing from like really low pressure, just in your, you know, sitting sort of soreness in your bones and your pelvis, if you sit down to like put on pants or even dry off after the shower or whatever, it really makes such a difference. Your hips just being sort of aligned and even really helps with the discomfort. I also got a really interesting comment last week about somebody saying that there's a correlation between full moon and braxton-hicks being really intense. My braxton-hicks have been still pretty intense this week, but they were probably worse. Like they took me more by surprise last week. And I remember seeing other pregnancy vlogs where people were complaining of the same thing. And the full moon was last week. So I think that's super interesting. Is that true for you in your pregnancies? Have you noticed any sort of connection there? I don't know. I'd be interested to know. Last night, as I mentioned, Alice was not feeling well and she was up a lot of the night, wanting me and not being able to go back to sleep and stuff. So I was up in her room. And I actually did start feeling really kind of like weird and laborish and not good. I was just having lots of braxton-hicks, but more uncomfortable than usual, and just lots of like sort of abdominal cramping and just not feeling right. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I do not want an anniversary baby, you know. I need to wait at least another 2 weeks till full term so we can go ahead with midwife, midwife assisted birth and everything. So definitely want to keep things where they are. I'm trying to take it easy. It's still 90 degrees here. Keep thinking we're beyond the worst of the heat, but then it comes back. So just trying to pace myself. This week I should be starting the perineal massage. I did this with Alice's pregnancy, and then I still tore and had an episiotomy. So I'm not really sure if I'm gonna do it or not. I've done it once so far. You're supposed to start around the 34-week mark, but I just don't know how much faith I have in it really being effective. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my home birth midwives this weekend what their sort of stance on that is, and maybe I can use like a particular oil, evening primrose oil or something like that might be a little bit more effective. I think last time I just used olive oil or vitamin E because that's what I had. But I don't know. For me, it was not a very comfortable thing to do, and it's just like another thing to be like thinking of. So I'm not sure if it's worth it. My freezer is pretty much stocked at this point. I have been like, I've had a list of things that I wanted to make ahead of time, and my list is pretty much completed. I'm gonna keep working on it, and with as much time as I have left, keep stashing stuff away. I did get a new book from the library that I'm liking. It's called Not Your Mother's Make Ahead and Freeze Cookbook. So there might be a couple recipes in there that I want to check out and try and stick into the freezer as well, but otherwise I feel like pretty ready. I do plan to make a separate video showing like what things I've frozen and where I got those recipes, so I can kind of share that stuff. Best thing about the week, number one, I finished the baby quilt. That was totally my number one thing. I made a separate video on it because I was so excited when it finally happened. But then I had a really good day this past weekend too that sort of ties for best place. I went to a yoga class on Saturday, and actually the class itself was pretty difficult. It just wasn't like super pleasant. I had a lot of discomfort with different positions, and it was just harder than usual. But then later in the day I felt really good, and I woke up Sunday feeling awesome, and we went to the public pool as a family and just did some really casual swimming. And I'm telling you, the rest of the day Sunday, even all Sunday night and into Monday morning, I felt awesome. I don't know if it was the combination of the yoga and the swimming, but I wish I could do that every day if that's how I was going to feel. It's not possible because the pool's only open when Mike is at work, and when I take Alice by myself, I don't get any kind of swimming done myself because I'm holding on to her the whole time. But man, that's exactly what I needed at that point, I guess. That's everything for 35 weeks. When I report back next week, I will pretty much know kind of for sure what our birth plan is going to be, and I'll be able to go into that a little bit more. Super exciting. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good week.